Hey everybody, it's Double B Bully Boutro, aka Wrestle Gamer, back with another installment of WGS-TV right here on the WGS YouTube channel. Now, I know it's been a little while since I've done a top 5 video, but I am back with another one, guys, and with me being a pro commentator myself, I think I'm a little bit acclimated with this subject of this top 5. And what this is going to be, it's going to be my top 5 favorite wrestling commentator teams. Remember, this is teams consisting of 2 people. Because I'm telling you right now, everybody in my top 5, every team in my top 5 is a 2-person team. And of course, again, like I said, with me being a commentator, hey, I think I know a little bit about the subject of commentary. So, number 5 is Tony Schiavone and Larry Zbyszko. These 2 worked as a team a lot in WCW right around the beginning of Monday Nitro in 1996. I think they ran from 96 to 97, and then they just made it a totally 3-person team with Larry Zbyszko working the first hour and then Bobby the Brain Heenan working the second hour. But the first hour, it was Tony Schiavone and Larry Zbyszko, and I really thought they were good. They really made the first hour enjoyable of Monday Nitro. I believe they did a really good job. You know, really great chemistry. You know, Schiavone was a really good commentator, play-by-play wise, and you know, with Zbyszko and his you know, his history and his lineage in wrestling. I say lineage. I shouldn't say lineage. I should say his legacy in wrestling is what I should say, because he is a legend. No matter how you splice it, he is a legend. And you know, with his background in wrestling, you know, he made a really good analyzer of moves. So that's why I have these guys as my number 5. Number 4, I'm going to go with the very first team that I ever watched growing up watching wrestling. And it's Vince McMahon and Jesse the Body Ventura. You know, I wasn't aware of any other wrestling leagues or territories or anything like that. It was about 5 or 6 years old. You know, we never watched pay-per-views growing up because, you know, we couldn't afford it. So the one wrestling show that I always watched every weekend, it was Superstars. And of course, who was the commentating team on Superstars at the time? Vince McMahon and Jesse the Body Ventura. I just love the way those 2 work together. You know, Vince McMahon, you know, the straight play-by-play guy, and of course Jesse the Body Ventura, the notorious heel. You know, and they just had, you know, just like Tony Schiavone and Larry Zbyszko had really good chemistry. I think Vince McMahon and Jesse the Body Ventura had even better chemistry. You know, they really worked a lot, and they kind of learned from each other, commentator-wise, I would think. And they just developed into a really great commentating team, and they made any wrestling show that they watched purely enjoyable. Number 3 is Michael Cole and JBL. Now, this is before Michael Cole's whole lame heel gimmick in the WWE, where he started loving The Miz and whatnot. And, you know, I really didn't have much confidence in JBL when he first started. But, you know, I gave him time, and he developed into possibly one of the best I have ever heard. JBL was a really great commentator. You know, he really worked well with Michael Cole. They really knew how to play off each other. You know, at some points you kind of figure, you know, Michael Cole was carrying JBL, and then when JBL just started to get really, really good, they just, you know, acclimated with each other, and it was just Friday Night SmackDown. I think it was the era of 2009 to 2010. I think. But anyway, during that era, they made the commentator purely enjoyable to listen to on Friday Night SmackDown. So that's why they're at my number 3. Number 2, One of my all-time personal favorites. But there's a reason why they're not my number one. I'll reveal my number one when I get to it. Number two, I have to go with it, guys. Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler. I mean, they made the Attitude Era really great. Really something special. You know, when you have Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler, who have worked together for so many years, they can feed off each other without having to say, hey, say this, or hey, say that. You know, they can just take what they're saying and just run with it and go with it. That's the essence. That's the heart of commentating, people, is not only having the ability to describe the action and help tell the story of the match. It's how well you can work with the person beside you. And no team showed this better than Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler, except for one team. There's one team. And no, you know, I'll tell you right now, a lot of people are thinking, hey, you know, you're going to say, hey, it's you and me, Matt Dunn. No, I'm not going to be biased. You know, I'm going to give me and Matt Dunn an honorable mention. Because a lot of people said, hey, we're a pretty damn good team. And for those of you who don't think so, hey, check out the GCW videos with me and Matt Dunn here on my YouTube channel. And then you'll probably agree with me. But I'm going to give me and Matt Dunn an honorable mention. So, with that being said, number one, my top favorite commentating team. Remember, it's team, not commentators, single. I'm talking teams. Number one of my all-time favorites, Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan. These two, not only as the host of primetime wrestling back in the day, for those of you who don't know, that's what Monday Night Wrestling was before it became Monday Night Raw. It was primetime wrestling. And these, oh my God, I'm just thinking back to so many of the great things. You know, Royal Rumble 1993, I think it was 93, it was either 92 or 93. I'm trying to think of which one Ric Flair won. But when Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan called that Royal Rumble, it was just great. Great, you know, you're not hearing some bland, you know, commentary, you know. Now, without disrespecting Gordon Soley, you know, he is one of the all-time greats, but I kind of consider him to be one of the all-time greats that could never express emotion in a match. You know, but, you know, God rest his soul. But Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan really added to the story of any match they would call. You knew that whenever you would watch a match that had Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan as your commentators, you knew that you were going to have enjoyable commentary to go along with a great wrestling match. So, that's been my top 5 favorite wrestling commentating teams. Again, just a quick recap. Number 5 is Tony Schiavone and Larry Zbyszko. Number 4 is Vince McMahon and Jesse the Body Ventura. Number 3 is Michael Cole and JBL. Number 2, Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler. And, of course, number 1, Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan. What I'd like to know now from you guys is, what are your favorite commentator teams? And what do you think of my top 5 list of top 5 favorite wrestling commentating teams? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Every subscriber counts on my channel. And every subscription is greatly appreciated on the WGS YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And tell your friends about the WGS YouTube channel. So with that being said, I'm Double B Bully Bujo. Thank you very much for watching.